I appreciate you giving me your name and your email address. It shows that you're interested in hearing what's going on. So apparently you've sliced a golf ball more than one time in your life. You're going to be totally shocked at how easy it is to repair the slice. You're going to kick yourself in the backside for not knowing this on your own years ago. It's so simple. Okay? We talked about this last time. We talked, and yeah, I'm wearing the same shirt and the same clothes. There's a reason for that because I'm filming this all the same time, but I wasn't going to come back and bug you until you invited me into your home. And I thank you for the invitation to come into your home or your office to share some more with you. It doesn't matter what I charge for lessons, but they're expensive. And you're getting this absolutely free. And when you get through with this, if you'll go to the driving range, I promise you will fix your slice. You will no longer slice a golf ball. Yes, it'll take you some time to develop the accuracy where you want it. At first, you may pull hook it, but I'll promise you, you will know how to make the ball curve the other direction. And you won't have to slice anymore unless you decide that's what you want to do. Fair enough? All right, we talked about last time about how this whole thing is ball spin. And if you remember, I talked about my teacher, physics teacher, talking about how a golf ball is nothing more than a heavy ping pong ball. A gentleman came to see me from Canada several years ago. He said, Daryl, I've played golf for 25 years. He said, I'm a 22, 3-4 handicap. He said, I've never been below 22. He said, I usually between 25 and 26. He said, I slice the ball so terribly that it's pathetic. I've been to tons of golf pros in that 25 years, a very high level business executive. And he said, I've paid a lot of money to get my slice, to learn how to stop slicing. And no one could fix it. And he said, if I told you the names of the people I've gone to see, you'd be shocked because they're famous. He said, no one could fix my slice. He said, so I don't expect you to fix my slice. But if you could just get me to slice less so I can just have more fun. He said, I played around a 25 handicap basically. That's just my level. That's what I'll be forever. I said to the man, I said, sir, have you ever played any sports? He said, yeah, I could have played pro hockey. I was a very good athlete. But he said, our family growing up didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't focus there. I had to work all the time, but I was a really good athlete. So, okay. So I said, you played hockey? Yep. I said, are all the sticks in hockey flat? He said, no. The shooters have a little crook at the end of their stick. I said, really? He said, yeah, without that crook, he said, the puck would always slide out to the right for the right-handers. It'd always slide off to the side. That's the... I said to the gentleman, I said, you ever play ping pong? Oh, yeah. My kids and I have played ping pong all the time. So I said, have you ever been able to take a ping pong ball and just horse around hitting balls in the air, make it backspin and rise? Yeah, I could do that, no problem. I said, do you know how to take a ping pong ball and make it, this command's right-handed, curve to the right? Oh yeah, that's no problem at all. Now remember, he's taking a lesson from me. So he's paying me. So he's, by now, 10 or 15 minutes of his hour going by. He's watching the money go out of his pocket because I'm just talking. I'm not hitting balls. I haven't let him hit a shot yet. We're just talking. I said, would you know how to make a ping pong ball curve left? He said, sure, who wouldn't? He said, it's real simple. He says, you spin it one way to make, he said, you kind of cut across it to spin it over there, and you kind of wrap the paddle around it to make it go over there. It's just applying different spin to it. I said, that's correct. I said, that's correct. How hard is that to do? He said, simple. He said, you'd have to hire someone to help you misunderstand it. It's so simple. I said, well, now we're getting somewhere. I said, what if I told you that a golf ball is nothing more than a heavy ping pong ball. He looked at me kind of funny. I said, sir, you want me to fix your slice, but I'm not going to fix your slice. I'm going to teach you how to slice. He said, I already know how to slice. That's all I do. I said, no, you already slice all the time. I admit to that, and I wouldn't argue with you because you've told me that, and I believe you. But if you knew how to slice the ball or what made the golf ball curve to the right, then you could make it not curve to the right anymore, couldn't you? He thought for a moment. He's the president of a large lumber organization. He said, that makes sense. I've never heard anyone say that way before. I said, well, I'm different. I said, because I'm not going to teach anything about your golf swing. You came here for a golf lesson. I don't know anything about golf. I'm not really a golf teacher. What I really am is I teach common sense, I teach ball spin, and I teach natural human skeletal body motion. What this frame, skinny, fat, tall, or short, what it can and cannot do. I said, that's all I really teach. I said, if your 7-iron were a ping pong paddle, if it were a ping pong paddle, and I didn't care how you hold it, forget any golf lesson you've ever had in your whole life. You don't care, and I don't care how you hold that 7-iron. Could you do something with that 7-iron to make that golf ball sitting on the ground rotate in a fashion to curve this way? He said, I don't know why. I said, well, I'm going to tell you something. What if you made the golf ball rotate this direction? He said, well, that would slice. I said, that's why you've sliced for 25 years, sir, because your golf ball's rotating that way. I said, do you think you know how, from what we just talked about, ping pong balls and everything, how to make it rotate the other way? I don't know why not. I said, good. All the time now he's not looking at his watch quite as often because something's starting to sink in between the ears to him. I said, now we've gone, on an hour lesson, we've gone 25 minutes, and all we've done is talk. I said, has what I have shared with you begun to make some sense? He said, yeah, but he says, what about my swing? I said, I don't care about your swing. I don't teach golf swings. Golf swings are not important. What's important is making this golf ball do what you want to do, and you're tired of it doing this. There are two things you can do for a golf ball curving to the right, or slicing for a right-hander. Number one is you can learn to spin it the other way, or number two, you can learn to hit it over here so when it comes to the right, it's back in play. That's only two things you can do. There is nothing else. He thought about that a moment, and he said, what about straight? I said, well, what if straight doesn't exist? He said, well, I don't understand that. What do you mean straight may not exist? I said, you've played some ping pong. Yep. I said, have you ever hit a ping pong ball straight? He said, well, heavens no, they're so light that there's no way to keep them from just moving a little bit. I said, there's a reason for that. Because lift is created with backward spin. Now, if I have a round sphere, a ball, okay, on this ball, and it's flying toward the camera, I was explaining to him about down the fairway, if I'm going toward the camera and I put the lifting pressure right dead in the center, smack in the center, the ball lifts straight up and flies right where it's going and doesn't budge. However, there's always some wind, and there's only 1 degree on the compass point on a protractor compass that would allow that to be perfectly in line with the flight. I said, but if that lifting pressure is left of center, it's not only pushing the ball up, it's pushing it right. There's your slice. In ping pong, we call it side spin. It really isn't totally side spin. It's goofy backspin that puts the pressure in the wrong place, okay? But I don't care about that. I said, so if we can put the air pressure, get it from over here, past the center to over here, the ball should do this, shouldn't it? He said, well, yeah. How do you do that? I said, don't even worry about it. I said, I just want you to feel like that when you swing the club, however you want to swing it, I don't care what you do, just swing it any way it's comfortable to you. But somehow I want you to do what you think you would do to apply left curve spin on the ball, as if it were a ping pong ball. Can you do that? Yeah, I think that'd be pretty easy. I said, okay, you got now about 35 minutes going by altogether. He's run out of time, and he knows it. But he doesn't seem to care anymore because something clicked when he began to see that if a golf ball was nothing more than a heavy ping pong ball, he could curve a ping pong ball anywhere he wanted. He was ready to try a golf ball. He stepped up with 7-iron. I have not talked one iota about golf swing to this man. His very first shot, he pulled it and it hooked, but it hooked. He looked at me and he says, can I try another one? And he's grinning like crazy, like something went. I said, sure, go ahead. He hits another one that takes off over here. You should have seen, this man was so excited. He said, I can't believe it. I said, just for the fun of it, sir, would you know from that information how to make one go that way? He said, yeah, I think so. That's pretty simple. He stepped up with that 7-iron. He hit his next shot and it took off. He looked at me and he says, I spent all this money on golf lessons and that's all there is to this thing? He said, you didn't even say anything about my golf swing, my address, my shoulder turn, my grip. You didn't even care. I said, no, I don't care. I don't care because we've been taught that if we fix our grip, fix our turn, do this, do that, and what have you, that's going to make your golf ball go where you want. And it's baloney. The golf ball is going to go where you want it to go when you know how to put the kind of spin on it. He said, can I hit some more? I said, yeah, you want to hit slices or hooks? He says, I'm going to hit some of both. He hooked a couple. He said, I tried to do those. I said, okay. He said, I'm going to try to slice a couple. Now I'll hook one or two. Now I'll slice a couple. Now, he was here to see me for a couple of days. He did say to me then, he said, Daryl, my slices look pretty good overall. He said, I tend to pull the ball. I've done it all my life. I pull the ball, and if I don't slice it too bad, it stays in play. But now this is a 7-iron with a driver. It's in the weeds. I said, I know. But he said, now that I'm drawing the ball, I'm pulling it and drawing it. I'm so far over here, it's just as bad. Yeah, I know. So I know that. You already said you wanted to come back tomorrow when you booked originally. You want an hour today and an hour tomorrow, right? He said, right. I said, all we're doing today is showing you what makes a ball curve in flight. Straight doesn't exist because you have to be too perfect with it every time, and no one is perfect that much. And none of us, hardly ever any of us, go out and play a round of golf without a little bit of breeze. And if you have just even a little bit of breeze, it's going to move the ball around the direction of the wind. It's going to do it. You can't stop it. Ping pong ball moves in a breeze. You think a golf ball doesn't? It does. It does. If you're a little dumbfounded with that, think about it in another direction. When you've got wind in your face, the ball doesn't go as far. I don't care if it's just a little breeze. It doesn't quite go as far. And when the wind's at your back, it'll go just a little farther. So the wind is affecting the golf ball. If it'll make a golf ball hit into the wind, go shorter, then it'll make one hitting crosswind curve the direction of the wind to some degree. I'm not saying a lot or go clear out of town or off the golf course. It'll move it. So straight, perfectly pure straight. Everybody says, I just want, how come you can't just teach me to hit it straight? Well, straight doesn't exist. What golfers call straight is the golf ball ends up where they want it. So if I put it over here and draw it to there, or put it over here and fade it to there, it is ending up where I want it, and we call that straight. My dad was playing to a 5.6 handicap when he was 75. That's a long time ago. He's passed away several years ago. He sliced everything. He'd say, man, I wish I could draw. I'd take him on a lesson tee, and he'd be drawing the ball in 2 swings. But he'd always go out and play for a couple bucks, and he trusted that old slice. He could make it go where he wanted. He was smart enough to always play for it. Okay? So what happens in this whole thing is we've got to learn to either play for what we're going to hit, because a draw is no different than a fade. Once you start drawing the ball, if you're starting it on the target, you're going to always be there. Your fade starts here and goes there. Start your fade there and it'll come into play. Start your draw over there and it'll come into play. Okay? He said, Daryl, I'm pulling everything. I said, I know. He said, it's because I come over the top, they told me. I said, yeah, that's it. It's exactly what it is. He said, can we fix that? I said, yeah, we're going to fix that tomorrow. But I said, tomorrow you're going to have another hour. We're going to fix coming over the top in just a matter of minutes. Then we can work on something else if you want to, because coming over the top is also no big mystery. It's the simplest thing in the world. So I said, come back tomorrow. See you here at our scheduled time. I'll teach you how to stop coming over the top in 2 swings. You won't be coming over the top anymore. He said, you'll be kidding. He said, I've spent thousands of dollars trying to fix coming over the top, and no one could fix me. The famous guys. I said, no, I'm not talking about people. He said, you can do it 2 swings? I said, I promise. I promise I can fix you in 2 swings. I said, if I can't, I don't owe you for the lesson. You don't owe me for the lesson. Now, you're not in that position because I didn't charge you for that lesson right there, but if you'll take what I just showed you and go to the range, now I'm going to tell you where you're going to have trouble if you go to the range and don't do what I ask you to do. If you try to draw the ball and hit it to a target with just what we've talked about today, you're going to say, that guy's full of baloney. That doesn't work. There are 2 parts to a golf shot. We've got the initial direction that takes off, and then we've got the direction it curves. There are only 4 ways to hit a golf ball. I'm going to talk to those about you the next time. If you want me to come back and have another free lesson to fix coming over the top, or to show you how to stop pulling it and hooking it, that'll be a few days from now. But I want you, first of all, to go to the driving range and just learn with a 7-iron. Don't get your driver out. Just get your 7-iron out, or maybe a hybrid, and just start hooking shots. Hook them into the weeds. Hook them to the edge of the driving range. Who cares? Just feel like you're going to put that left spin on the ball. Don't worry if you pull it. Because our next session, and it's free also, I'm not going to charge you a penny for it. I'm going to fix coming over the top so you quit pulling your shots. See, the reason most of us pull a shot, there's a combination of things I'm going to share next time. The reason we come over the top is because we're swinging with the wrong muscles. But when we come over the top, everything starts to the left if you're a right-hand golfer. If you're a left-hand golfer, coming over the top puts you over here, and everything, then it goes way over there. But what happens is we come over the top, as we're told. We hit everything to the left as right-handers. We end up blocking the thing back to the right, so we got this big fade because we're doing what I just taught you today. We're coming across it with a square open face. That's creating this big right spin. Is this making sense to you? I don't know how to say it much simpler. I've had literally thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of golfers come see me throughout my career. Most of them slice the ball, and without fail, not even one of them went away not being able to draw the golf ball. Now, there are some secrets. There's a little bit of things I'm going to share with you in our next session. Once again, it's free, just like this. I'm not charging you a dime. Yeah, I'm going to charge you some money somewhere down the line if you decide you want to learn more about me. But what I'm trying to do here is let you see my style, who I am, what I do. I'm a 70-year-old man that's retired, been playing golf since I was 10, played at tour level for a lot of years. And I don't care. That's not to boast. That's to tell you I can help you become a better golfer. I can help you keep your golf balls where you can find them, keep them out of the water and in bounds and closer to the fairway so that you don't have the same problems you've had. It's really simple. Take what we did today, okay? Go to the driving range a few times. and click one more time down there. Just say, yeah, I want you to come back and I'll take some more of that free stuff. Because I'll give it to you. I want you to know that what I'm telling you makes sense and it's going to help you, okay? So what we're going to do is next time we're going to fix coming over the top so you quit pulling the bowl. Because if you pull it and hook it, you're just dead meat. You're in trouble, okay? So there's got to be a way to not come over the top so when you draw it, it comes back to the target. Golf is hitting the ball away from the target and bringing it in toward it. So it doesn't matter if you slice or if you hook or draw, doesn't really matter. You just got to be smart enough to know how to do the one you want and make it always work toward the center. That's how we play the game of golf. All right? Click the button below and say, Daryl, I want some more of that. All right? And I'll come back and share it with you absolutely free. We're going to fix coming over the top. Thank you. I'm Daryl Klassen. Appreciate you coming along today and invite me into your home. Bye-bye.